Just a small update on this Triumph Tiger Cub, which ended up having pretty much a full engine rebuild. I took it out for a test ride the other day and noticed that although it went quite well, there was an issue with downward gear changes, which turned out to be due to a rather tired selector quadrant return spring. So I changed that. There's nothing to see externally that's any different to before, but I had to take the timing cover off and the cover inside of that to access the quadrant and change the spring. So I've done that, and on the bike lift at least, with the rear wheel raised off the deck, I've been able to spin the wheel and go through the gear change motions, and it seems to be, the selector mechanism seems to be resetting itself properly now. But another short road test will verify that one. At the moment though, I've just fitted a brand new set of brake linings or brake shoes. I've cleaned out the drum again because the rear brake went off very quickly on that ride, and quickly went back to doing nothing because I think the shoes, although I cleaned them up with clutch and brake cleaning solvent and the drum as well, and even roughed them up a little with some emery, I think the grease or oil, whatever, is well soaked into the linings, and as soon as I used the brake and it got a little warm, some of the oily greasiness just came to the surface again and the back brake went off. So it's all spotlessly clean again in there, and we've got brand new brake shoes. So the plan is to fit that lot and then go for a short test ride up a route I have taken, but more rarely than Bantam Hill. It's called Tabor Hill, and it's the lane just leaving the village directly up the hill, and it's very steep. So the plan is to use that route to test and make sure that the gears, well, we'll put a good load on first gear, I should imagine, going up parts of that, and make sure it doesn't jump out at first. Make sure that the gears change okay going up and obviously coming down again, and also the hill being very steep will give me a chance to hopefully see that the rear brake works as it should again. So that test ride should be coming up shortly after I've done all this, and it'll be the next video in the playlist after this one. Well, I'm just about ready to get this Tiger Cub off the bike lift and go for a test ride. It'll be interesting to see how well the back brake works actually, because this wasn't so obvious before when I had the worn brake shoes fitted, but someone has used the brake arm from a front wheel on the rear, and that's it in the off position. And when I press the brake pedal and apply it, it only goes to there and the brake is on. Now that is far from the world's best and most efficient operating angle. I don't have a spare of the correct type myself to put on instead of this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it works, and if it does, how well it works. We may be alright. And one thing is, as the brake beds in and wears in, that angle will come round to a more favourable one as the brake wears. But when the worn brake shoes were in the drum, the arm obviously had to move around further before the brake came on, so it wasn't so bad as far as a decent operating angle went before. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll go for a test ride and see how the back brake works anyway, and if necessary, either I or the owner himself actually could probably try and source the correct brake operating arm for the rear brake, which would put the arm at about this kind of angle when the brake is off, and closing but not quite reaching 90 degrees when the brake comes on. That's the ideal. It'd be interesting to see how well this works like this. It might be alright. If it is, all well and good. If not, I think perhaps the owner can get one of these, because he must be getting tired of me finding things wrong with his bike. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a try up the road next anyway.